We begin this hour with some breaking news. Titans of tech on Capitol Hill this hour to discuss the future of AI and how to regulate the fast-growing technology. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, among the CEOs in attendance. Our Eamon Javers is live on the Hill with us. Tell us more, Eamon.
Hey there, Sarah. Well, we do believe that all of the big-name tech CEOs are in the building now. Obviously, the event is just about to get started. This is an event organized by Senator Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, a Democrat. He's got 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans who are going to be talking in a roundtable format with all these tech CEOs today about AI innovation. The idea here is to gather ideas and look at the landscape ahead of some potential AI legislation coming out of the United States Senate. Not clear where that's going to go, but this is certainly a high-level meeting. We saw Elon Musk here. We saw Mark Zuckerberg here. I had a very brief chance to have an exchange with Sam Altman.
So it sounds like some huge tech moguls are going to be there today. The Senate basically wants to know, okay, what is going on with AI? We're seeing it everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. What do we need to expect, and how can we set up the USA to be ready for whatever is going to come our way? Because what is coming our way? And the tech moguls are going to lay that out. And you know, I wish this event was televised. The amount of drama going on with the likes of Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and even Sam Altman, who used to be the partners with Elon Musk founding OpenAI in 2015. You're also going to have Bill Gates there, who we'll get into about that later, but let's keep watching.
Of ChatGPT fame, I asked him what his message to the senators is here, and he said he's just here to answer their questions. So a ChatGPT prompt and response, maybe, if you look at it that way. We saw a number of others. Sundar Pichai of Google was here, and I did have a chance to catch up very briefly here with the former Google CEO, Eric Schmidt. I asked him what his message to the senators was, and he said he's going to tell them ultimately that AI is a very, very powerful tool and they need to get ready. So a real sense of mission, I think you could say, here on Capitol Hill, as all of these tech CEOs, who of course are intense rivals among themselves, all gathering here on the Hill to brief the senators as the senators try to figure out how to get their arms around this incredible technological revolution at a time when the senators themselves, admittedly, are not the most tech-savvy people in the world, guys. Back over to you.
Yes, our reporter is correct. The average U.S. senator is 64 years old, so I cannot blame them for not having a grasp on AI technology. More and more, it's starting to feel like these tech moguls are running the country. I mean, they hold more power in their hands, arguably, than the U.S. government does. ChatGPT has the power, and so does Twitter, to literally control the public discourse of the United States. We've seen Twitter influence elections, and US citizens have literally become cyborgs who are quick to move to Google or ChatGPT to answers about everything. Nonetheless, I think it's a great move by the senators to bring these people in-house and to really help them understand, because that's what we need. So yes, there's wisdom in having these old senators. They have a lot of experience, but there's also a lot of areas they lack, and bringing in these tech moguls today is a huge step in the right direction to bring the US up to speed and to keep the U.S. at the forefront of innovation.
So just to be clear, Eamon, it's a brainstorming session, right? No legislation on the table, no public hearings or anything like that. Any pledges? At least we got a pledge last time where they all signed.
Well, that's right. We'll see if there's any document that comes out of this or any work product that comes out of it. As of now, there is legislation sort of theoretically on the table here, right? The idea is that Congress might move on AI regulation, AI legislation at some point to come. This is just an idea gathering stage right now.
The idea of AI legislation could be its own video in itself. I mean, there's a lot to cover here. With regards to ChatGPT, I mean, Elon gets frustrated because in order to train the neural nets within that system, they're scraping the entire internet for data, and this causes a lot of strain on servers. I mean, this is why Twitter initiated that tweet limit, the amount of tweets you could read in a day, to prevent ChatGPT from scraping all of its data. And how do you move forward as the senators to regulate this software? Because, I mean, you have students who are using ChatGPT to cheat on their homework. You have employees who are using ChatGPT to get all of their work done. And this is creating a lot of court cases revolving around plagiarism. And now you have self-driving cars, and how are you going to regulate that with liabilities and who's at fault? And now you have humanoid robots coming into the picture who are threatening to take away basically the entire labor force's jobs. The Senate just needs to get up to speed so that they can be well prepared for this very fast-moving scaling of AI.
There's been some criticism of this meeting, though, Sarah, because this is not being done in the normal Capitol Hill format. It's not on television. television. It's not on C-SPAN. It's not open to all the senators. The senators can attend, but not all the senators will be able to participate in this. So it's not going through the normal committee process. Some have criticized this as the biggest lobbying meeting in the history of technology because all these CEOs are here, of course, giving their input into what the legislation should look like, and ultimately they're going to advocate for their own interests, right? You can only imagine that's what they would do. Sarah.
I just wish I could be a fly on the wall in that room, because you have all of these CEOs with their own agendas and they're all competing against each other. And what they say in that room today will influence how AI is regulated and if it is regulated, because I know Elon, more than any of those other CEOs, is extremely worried about, a Terminator type event happening. But some of the more money crazed CEOs in that room might not be so worried.
Eamon, I'm always curious about the format of a meeting like this. I don't know that you know, but there is so much to share. Yep. You mentioned Eric Schmidt, for example, not a current CEO, but the Special Committee Studies Project is something he runs that will make recommendations to strengthen America's long-term global competitiveness in terms of artificial intelligence, other emerging technologies. He was obviously as well chairman of the Department of Defense Innovation Board. I would think, there's just so much to share in there. How is it going to be done? Do you know?
Yeah. Well, physically, we know it's going to be a U-shaped table, and they're going to sit around the U-shaped table and discuss, right? So the 4 senators, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, will sort of run.
As you can see there, Bill Gates is entering the room. And if you don't know, recently, Bill Gates reached out to Elon Musk and he said, hey, I have all of these humanitarian climate crisis projects that I want you to look at because I want you to invest. And so he met up with Elon at one of his factories, and Elon was giving Gates a tour of the factory, and he asked Gates, hey, do you still have a short position on Tesla? And Bill Gates goes, yeah, haven't closed it yet. And Elon was just dumbfounded, because how can you be a climate crisis advocate while also have a short position against the company who is doing the most to solve the climate crisis? So Bill Gates wrote up this big paper afterwards and sent it to Musk and was like, look, I wrote this personally, please, these are big, important projects. And Elon was like, as if I'm not going to do business with someone with a short against Tesla. It just doesn't make sense. You're just greedy and you just want to make money off of a company who's doing goodwill and who's trying to save the planet. Why would I invest in your projects? This led to Elon getting quite upset and mean on Twitter towards Gates, which is, as we're going to learn in Isaacson's novel, it's just a personality trait of Musk. He gets really mean when he does not logically understand people. But I just think it's so funny that Musk is in a room with Bill Gates today and Mark Zuckerberg. I wish we could see this.
It will be closed to the press, so we won't be able to see it. There's going to be a pool spray at the top where we will get some pictures of all these guys sitting in a room. I expect those pictures to come out very shortly.
Elon, what's your mission today with lawmakers?
Sorry. Keep going. Go.
Just love?
Speaking of conversations, David, I think we do have a little snippet here of my very brief conversation with Eric Schmidt as he was walking in just a short time ago. Take a listen.
AI needs to be both promoted as well as regulated.
And what do you think the reaction is going to be in the room? The senators are not as technically savvy as the rest of you are.
They're coming up to speed. This is what Schumer's trying to do. So,
and what do you think the tech CEOs are going to tell the senators?
Basically that it's very powerful, and that we have to get ready.
AI is very powerful, and just from my research on Tesla, this thing is about to scale, and it's barely started. Right now, Tesla has 8 exaflops of compute, and by the end of next year, that's expected to about over 10x to 100 exaflops, making them have the most compute in the world. And of course, this compute is being leveraged to scale their neural networks, to scale their artificial intelligence. And when a company like Tesla is training robots, they're training cars to navigate the world and to make decisions that we have to be confident in, philosophical questions are raised. How are you going to program a car when, if it drives over here, it's going to kill 5 kids, but if you drive over here, it's going to kill 20 adults? Huge philosophical implications in this AI software. And of course, we learned that, Tesla is not using heuristic code. They're not saying when this happens, do this, or this happens, do this. They're training these robots and these cars on human behavior. So, of course, that helps with the philosophical implications. But, they're still braided throughout. You're still going to have to to make certain decisions when it comes to life and death situations. And moreover, I mean, from the US standpoint, how many resources do you want to push into something that could potentially kill us? You know, these are big thoughts that they're going to discuss today. But what is wild is I see a path where Tesla becomes, more powerful than the United States. Imagine if they have millions of these robots that have actuators in their thighs that can lift pianos. They're smarter than humans and they process data faster and they become extremely dexterous. I mean, that's scary, and you can't nationalize the company because that completely de-incentivizes capitalism. And so it's a big discussion going on today, and I'm sorry that it's not televised, but one thing that you can do is read Walter Isaacson's new book. I just got mine yesterday, and I'm going to be reading it this week. Hopefully it can make some content chapter by chapter, and there will be a link in the description for the book, and thanks for watching.